Miles was born with a pair of mandarin duck eyes. During the injection, he didn't even cry when such a thick needle was stuck in him. His mother thought something was wrong. The doctor said some children are born without fear of needles. But as he grew older, Miles' behavior became more and more erratic. He had a very high IQ and didn't like to play with children his own age. He would hide in a dark room by himself and play with strange things. The only person he wanted to be close to was the nanny. On this day, Mom and Dad had to go out, so the nanny stayed home with Miles. Miles asked to play hide and seek. The nanny told Miles to hide. She covered her eyes and started counting down. But when she opened her eyes, Miles was standing in the same spot, looking straight at her. The nanny thought he didn't understand the rules of the game, so she covered her eyes and tried again. This time Miles hid. He's in the basement, but he's covering his ears. The light reflects his shadow, which is slowly growing larger. Suddenly Miles turned out the light in the basement. Just as the babysitter started looking for Miles, she searched the room and found no one. Then she heard something in the basement and went down there. She took one step down the stairs, not realizing that Miles had put broken glass all over them. When her mother returns, she asks Miles why he did it. Miles said he'd been playing a game and didn't know anything about it. He cried when he said back. The mother couldn't bear to ask any more questions. But more and more strange things happened to Miles. At night, when everyone was asleep, his mother was awakened by the sound of Miles talking in his sleep. She rushed to Miles' room. Miles suddenly sat her up, pointed to his head, and said there was a person inside. The mother's face was full of disbelief because her son was looking at her in a strange way and touching her hand. This is not the look of a child. While the mother was thinking, her son suddenly pitched her hand. The mother immediately snapped back to her senses and warned her son not to do that again. But the son hummed a song in disbelief. Mother asked him where he learned the song. Miles said you taught him the song. The strange feeling in the mother's heart grew stronger and stronger. She had never heard of this song, let alone taught it to her son. But she could only keep her doubts to herself. But at night, before going to bed, she went to ask her son to go to bed early as usual. But when she turned her head, her son's face changed. The mother was stunned and couldn't believe her eyes. She approached her son cautiously, as if she were hallucinating. Perhaps because she was frightened, she always felt that someone was staring at her when she slept. She got up and saw her son standing in the hallway. The mother asked him why he wasn't sleeping.
Mommy, I'm scared.
Come here, baby.
Come here, Mommy.
Luckily, it was just a bad dream, but Miles was actually at the door. He said he was scared to sleep alone, so his mother put him to bed. Once under the covers, Miles wrapped his arms around his mother, but the mother felt a creepy feeling in her heart. Then she suddenly saw a lot of flies in the house. She followed the flies to the basement, where she found blood on the floor. Following the blood stains, she saw a sealed cabinet. The mother had a hunch that there was something bad inside. She wanted to open it, but Miles approached slowly with a hammer.
Mommy. Use this.
The mother pried the nails out of the cabinet, and there was a dog's body hidden inside. The woman opens her own cupboard, and a dog's body falls out. The woman looked at her son in disbelief. The son cries and admits that he did it, but he was just careless. When the mother saw him crying, she could only comfort him. But the next day, when she tidied up the closet, she found a book hidden by her son. This book is about a serial killer. The author was the only survivor of the murderer. The son had collected a lot of information about the survivor. What does he want? The mother immediately went to investigate the case. Back then, the psychopath killed 7 women in a row and would cut off their right hands for his collection, until the 8th victim escaped. The police followed her lead and found the killer and killed him on the spot. It was Miles' birthday. To be precise, Miles was born the second the murderer was shot, and the murderer had the same pair of lovebirds' eyes as Miles. Her son once said he had another person in his head. She suspects that the murderer's spirit is in her son. She was afraid that the murderer would manipulate her son's body to commit crimes. She asked her husband to send him to a juvenile detention center, but Miles saw through her thoughts and stabbed his own father on the road. Looking at her badly wounded and unconscious husband, the woman coaxed her son to take sleeping pills. She drove Miles to a place. She looks for the survivor and intends to kill her. The mother thought the murderer's obsession was to kill the survivor. If the survivor died, he would leave her son's body, but she couldn't do it. Instead, Miles came at her with a knife, stabbed the woman, then quickly turned and left. The mother immediately went after him. Seeing her son alone on his knees, she silently prayed that the murderer's spirit had left his body. Apparently not. He cruelly told the woman that her son's spirit had long since dissipated. He is now the only one in this body. The woman is saddened, but she can't let this scourge continue to harm others. With the sound of gunfire, it was the woman who fell. A hunter passing by took her down. He saved poor Miles.